Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and we, Ladies First Panel, are back for another interview with our girl Melody Sheree. Hi,
What's up,
Mel.
ladies? Hey,
Hey,
ladies.
I am so excited to have you, and thank you so much for reaching out. You know what I'm saying? I know you are so busy. It's always like you got a hopscotch into the schedule, girl. So I appreciate you for thinking of us and reaching out when you were, going through and doing all of your interviews.
Absolutely.
Jamie, child, listen, we're gonna wait for Jamie to come back in. Um,
yeah.
but your house is so nice in the background. Oh my god.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You know, it's so crazy because, like, when I say, when it comes to just keeping things neat, like, I can't function in chaos. Like, I can't function when things are all over
Same.
the place and out of order. It don't work for me. So I kind of have to keep everything neat together. And that allows my brain to function.
Yes, and we
I'm
love
the same
tall
way.
ceilings. Okay, come on, tall ceilings.
hmm And I love that you're at the couch because I've seen you do other interviews and content on the couch. So I'm like, okay, this is nice.
Yes,
We got we
the
got a nice setup. Well,
relaxation.
official.
Thank you.
Okay, there our girl go. All right,
Okay, I heard absolutely nothing the first time. Sorry, y'all. Okay,
it's
I'm
That's
good.
cool.
okay.
All right, we're good though. You good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, so we just gonna get right into it. Now I have two cute little questions, and then it's gonna punch.
Okay.
It's too
Right.
cute, and then we just gonna punch. Okay.
Cute little questions.
So, are you reading anything recently? Because I feel like you're such a busy person. You're also very very smart, and so I just want to know what type of content that you take in just on a leisure. So, like, is there anything specific that you're reading right now?
So at this moment, I don't have anything specifically that I'm reading. My reading time right now goes into researching like e-commerce because that's my new thing that I'm in right now. So when I do have a chance right now to just read, that's what it's about. It's reading about e-commerce, reading about production and how that, because I have a production company, of course. So no, I don't have right at the moment. I don't have any time to just read anything specifically.
Okay.
Booked and busy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listen.
yeah.
So, do you have time to watch TV? Because I'm wondering what's your favorite TV show if you have any.
No, I don't get. I thought about that this morning. Actually, I was like, man, I was like, when's the last time I actually really just took me a half a day to just binge watch something and
Binge.
chill and watch? No, I haven't had time. In all honesty, I haven't.
What about in
Okay.
life? Like favorite TV show in life?
Like, yeah.
Favorite TV. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you. Now listen. Now listen. I'm gonna tell you the show that used to be my show. Okay, my show was Scandal.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Scandal
Yes.
was wrong.
The
Man,
little
Yes.
lip quiver.
Yes.
I used to love me some Scandal now. So Scandal was definitely my jam. I went through that phase where I was watching that. I've watched some of this new series called Yellowstone.
hmm
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's called Yellowstone. And
Yep.
yeah, so I've watched some episodes of that. It's really good. But I don't really get a chance to watch a lot of TV. Growing up, I like watching stuff like Family Matters, Saved by the Bell, those types of shows growing up.
The
Um,
TGIF shows.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. But it's like when I say I literally use every minute, just about in every second, I'm either being a mom, being a business person, handling, because I handle my social media. So handling my social media, which requires posting, I tell people that's a whole nother job in itself, posting and
mm-hmm.
promoting. On top of, like I said, running businesses and on top of filming and on top of doing, clothing collections, like it's not a lot of time for me to even hardly sleep these days, let alone just chill and watch TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure. Well,
All right for the punch. Jamie.
the punch.
Well, dun dun dun.
So I want to know if you think Martel, your ex, should we refer
So
to
the
him as
first
the
question that's the
ex?
punch got something to do with my ex. Ain't that funny?
You
Okay. We just we just we
would
just
you
can't
would
we
you say
just
the
can't
ex?
we just can't get past them. All right.
We don't slide past. You know he enjoys it. But listen, would you say he's a narcissist?
Yes.
Mm.
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think production coddles Martel?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay.
Mm, okay.
My next question is: at the reunion, a lot of people felt like things were edited out, specifically a big scene or conflict between you and Martel. So, can you share anything that happened backstage at the reunion that we didn't see on TV?
I can say that there was something that did not make the cut, and it wasn't him and me.
Okay.
So yes.
It was him
Was
in
it
production.
production?
No, I did not say that.
Okay. That's what we
Okay.
had heard. Okay.
That's what I was asking. I was just
You
asking.
know, it's a question mark.
Um, no, but it
But
wasn't he. It wasn't he and I. No.
okay.
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 So there was like a situation where I believe he hacked your phone. Is that right? Can you explain what that was all about?
So right before the reunion, like a little bit before in October, there was a situation where I was getting all of his calls. And we're not on the same plan or anything like that. And so I didn't know, at first I didn't know that I was literally getting his calls. I was getting numbers I didn't know. I didn't know who that was, right? And then I was getting some mutual friends calls coming through to my phone, and I'm thinking, why they calling me? I ain't talked to them in a long time. I was like, okay, what's going on? And then finally one of the individuals who called me, I actually called them back. And when they told me who they were calling and what number they dialed, then I called a couple of the other unknown numbers and who they were and what number did you dial? Who were you trying to call? And I was just like, it just made me feel like, for one, why out of all the numbers in the world that there could be an
Yeah.
interference with, the fact that there's an interference with you and your line and my line, and we got our own separate plans, that don't make sense to me. And I know the things that have happened in the past that were suspicious to me. So, in my
Mm.
opinion, yes, that's exactly what happened.
Did you
But
try to
they
like
didn't
call
do
the
it right.
number? Did you try to call the number yourself to see if it run back to your phone as well?
No, I didn't call his number. No.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Okay.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So just to piggyback off that question, is that the reason why you didn't want anybody to have your personal number when you calling everybody on the track phone?
Yeah, absolutely. So when that happened, and I would say if you've never been in a situation where you felt like your privacy was invaded and you felt like, oh my gosh, like why are people listening to my calls or trying to listen to my calls, and like when I ain't checking for them, I'm not bothering anybody, right? Or when you think about people where, or times or instances where ladies go to a restaurant or go to a place and use the restroom and it turns out there was a camera in there, right? Those are, I kind of finally understand what that feels like to have your
Mhm.
privacy invaded. And it's not a good feeling. I literally
Mhm.
cried that night. Like it was not a good feeling whatsoever.
Mm.
And so what I will say is, for me in that moment, I went into protective mode for me. And that meant for me anything affiliated, connected with, when it came to this show, when it came to people that I know, he communicates with, it was a no for me, because I also, you got to understand what you're dealing with. And I know how manipulative he can be. So even just as simple as being on some, man, I dropped my phone. What's mail number? Or I broke my phone. I need to call Mel. I dropped my phone. Anything to get somebody to give you my new number, right? That you
Right.
communicate with. So it was hardly anybody had my number. Like literally, Miss Fletcher. Y'all know the Fletchers. I've known her for some years now. She didn't have my new number. A lot of people did not have my new number, just because if they were connected in any way by way of this TV show or real life, if they were connected to him, they did not get my number
Mm-hmm.
until I got to a place where I, would feel a certain way and okay with that. And that's what it was.
Okay. Nisa, you want to do the next one since I
Sure. Okay.
So y'all already got
So,
y'all questions typed up. Look, I'm trying to understand how y'all work.
Oh
we
yeah,
do.
we
We do.
do.
I feel like all we missing is the lie detector, because you just yes, no,
Yes.
like
I know.
you
Look,
you
that's why I was like, let's just
you
get them
get to
out.
them. Like, let's get to them. Okay, so we want to know what happened with your meeting with Carlos, Angela, and Tisha,
Yeah.
or what was
um,
discussed.
Or was that
I
a
didn't
group?
I didn't have a meeting with Carlos and Angela and Tisha. I had
Okay.
a meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a meeting with Carlos and Angela.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
So basically, like, what was impressed because I feel like based on your interview with Carlos, like y'all's conversation led to you and Tisha kind of being able to be in a better space. And I was just kind of wondering, what could have gotten y'all there?
Right.
After
So no,
all,
the conversation was really pretty much what we, discussed. I think we discussed in the interview was just, and what he's been saying for a while, and I think what everybody's been saying is figuring out a way to get on back on track, right? To get in a better place with the show as a whole and more
Mm-hmm.
positivity. And that's what the conversation was, overall. I mean, I'm not gonna go into the little details of things, but the
Right.
basis was really what has been said, which is like, hey, how do we get this back to being positive and trying to bring it in so that we can enjoy the show, the fans can enjoy the show, and that's what it was.
do you think y'all was successful with that so
Uh,
far?
so for me and my scenes, my portion of things, I can say that I have worked on that, and I've seen in other instances with me and myself, like y'all saw me. Tisha was at my tea party. Y'all saw clips from the spa day. That was something she had, and she called and invited me. Well, she was with Kimmy, but Kimmy was talking to me. Tisha got the phone, invited me to the spa day. I went to that. So there are pieces I think where people, everybody, a consensus of like, you know what? Let's try to all, get along a little bit better. Like we can do better than what we've been doing. Like we ain't gotta be best friends. We ain't gotta be buddies, kicking it, hanging out, but let's try to do better than what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, oh, go
I
ahead.
have to say
Because
I'm
sometimes when
impressed.
something's heavy, I think the show just became very heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just
Mm-hmm.
became very heavy. And when you're watching TV, it says entertainment. So that's what it should be, is entertainment. And entertainment shouldn't be something that's heavy that by the time you finish with it, you
Mm-hmm.
feel drained.
Yeah.
So I think all of us as a whole, we were like, let's try to do at least better.
Yeah. I'm glad. It definitely looked like y'all are starting off that way, especially after at the reunion you were called a devil's, what is it, devil in sheep's clothing.
And a
So
dark
I,
soul.
and a dark soul, yes. So
Ooh, that irked me.
I
Who
imagine
was
how
that,
miserable.
Bonnie, that said that irked me?
It
it was
did.
Bondy, yeah.
It did irk me because I just kind of feel like that's such a
Extra.
yeah, like that's such a
Yeah. I had to.
huge statement to make about somebody when nothing that's happened has been that deep for
Right.
It
you
was
to
heavy.
feel like that. And I also feel like if you could, see somebody's soul being dark, the people around you, family members, they know.
Girl,
I'm gonna leave it alone. Y'all know how I feel
you
about
know,
it.
Yeah.
her husband.
I
That's
agree, and I think that's why it didn't. I think that is why it didn't bother me as much as I could have allowed it to bother me, because it's such a deep statement to make about somebody that you really don't even know, that it was just like, girl, whatever to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah,
just saying whatever. If it had have come from somebody who's super close to me, it probably would have hurt. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Dang, but whatever.
Right.
yeah. And then I felt
Yeah.
like a lot of that comment and stuff really came for me personally was like off of hearsay. Like you got a lot of your information through your friend, and then you rolled off of that and just kept going, and then you want to throw insults, but noted.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's why I say, like, even in that, she's not the first person on this show to say that. So when I start hearing people repeat the same thing, and they're people
Mm-hmm.
who I know hanging out with each other, y'all just having conversations and getting what the person's saying and running with it. So y'all heard my ex
Right.
say this, y'all heard my ex say this, that I don't forgive, and that I got a dark heart, a dark soul. Y'all just saying, y'all getting up, having combos, and then bringing it to the show, and y'all are all literally regurgitating the same stuff. So it's like
mhm.
whatever.
Gotcha. Now, I did hear you mention Stormy and how you played a role in her being able to come over to Huntsville, or at least recommending her to Carlos and Angela. So I was just wondering, how did that friendship actually come about? And if you felt like she could have been one of the people to befriend you just to come on the show. So that's like a two loaded
Okay,
question.
sure. So the way I first met Stormy was her team had actually reached out to my management and branding team. And there was a branding ambassadorship that happened between myself and Canvas Beauty, her products. And so that's how we met. We met that way. I pitched her, like I said, I did pitch her to Carlos and them. I wanted her, to come on here showing another black boss businesswoman doing her thing. Like I've always, from when I met her through that and started learning about her, because I'll be honest, I didn't know her before then, and
Okay.
I hadn't heard of her either. One time, someone mentioned her to me, and that was when her husband had first gifted her with her car, her G wagon. And they were like, "Mel, like you need to meet this person. Like, look, they doing good things, big things." And they showed me like a little. I think they had a little video put together of it. It was on social media somewhere. When he gifted her with her truck. And so I was
Okay.
like, "Oh man, that's what's up." And they, I'm like, "Okay, the young couple out here getting it. Okay, that's dope, right?" But other than that, I never heard about her, never heard about her brand. And then when her team reached out to my team, that's how that happened. I met her for the first time and, got to know more about her. And I'm like, oh, shoot, this is what's up. Like, she would be good. She and her family would be good for Love and Marriage, but she was pregnant at the time. And so I knew what that part, she explained what she had gone through with trying to get pregnant. I'm like, man, this would be dope. And so that's what it was. And I made the call, like Carlos said, made the call, pitched them, and now here they are.
Do you
So
think
go
do you
ahead,
think
Jamie.
do you think that friendship was only fostered so that she could get on the show though?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if her intentions were that or not. I can't speak to what her intentions were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So there have been rumors that she may know someone. And I be trying like cuz I know, what I'm saying? Like okay. So have you heard that she know Ariana?
I've seen that.
And is that at all a part of the reason why you may have, kind of like slid back on her a little bit?
No, no, because I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
Mm,
So
So
that came after the fact.
yeah. I mean, so after things started, I guess, happening on social media, and then people started bringing out different receipts and bringing out
mm,
reasons why. So I know that now. But no, so no, it wasn't at that time. No. Now,
One
if
thing.
you ask me if now in this place where I am, knowing that, if that would be something that I would be cool with, no. Just because
Okay.
I'm very protective of my space, I'm very protective of my life, what I
Right.
do, how I do it, my information. So when it comes to people who are connected to people who I know have an issue with me for no other reason except either they want what I have had or whatever the case may be, I really ain't checking for that.
Right.
So
Okay, cool.
Okay. I have a question, extended on the Stormy situation. So if Stormy had DM'd you, do you think that you would have gave her your number through DM, or were you still in the protective mode?
If she had a DM me, we would have been able to have a conversation, where I
Mm-hmm.
could have told her what was going on. And let me say this, it's crazy because even for her to say, like, and let me be clear. Let me be clear. I'm not walking around with some big issue with Stormy. I don't want people to think
Mm-hmm.
that either. Like literally, even when she came and questioned me at Kimmy's event, I hadn't spoken to her, but also she hadn't done nothing to me and I hadn't done nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, later things started coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like even I'll give you some behind the scenes stuff. When I pulled up to Kimmy's event, production came over. They always come over, get you ready to come in. They was like, "So, have you seen what's been going on Twitter today or on social media today or something?" They said, and I was like, "No." There's like, "So you ain't seen nothing about Stormy, her mom, or nothing?" I was like, "No, I've been doing da 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 today. What you talking about, right?" And so, anyway, at the time, I didn't know all of the pulling of the receipts from the past of what was being said about me and all of that. I didn't know. So when she pulled me over, I'm like, hey, like I ain't got no problem with her. Not thinking she has a problem with me. We haven't talked, but not talking to somebody doesn't mean that there's an issue or that I've done something to you or that you've done something to me. So the reason I said you could have DM'd me is because literally we started out talking in the DM. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So we all know people DM like text messaging these days. And I just felt like if you don't get me this way, hey girl, where you at? What's going on? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like to go to the DM is not a big deal. And it's not like she and I hadn't communicated. Like I could pull up my DM right now, you would see all these messages between she and I. when we had each other's numbers even. So it's not like we didn't communicate through the DM. And frankly, I think our first conversation we had in the DM was because she maybe liked a picture of mine and said so pretty or something. She said like we started with the DM. And I think I said something like, hey, my team is working, looking at the contract, something. It was DM conversation. And then also the reason I said that too is because first of all, I live maybe 15 minutes from her. I don't even stay that far from her. So I just feel like if you're gonna blow it up to be something big and make it seem like you really would have wanted to talk to me, anybody I really want to talk to, I'm gonna get to. No matter how it comes, I'm gonna get to them. And they cut this out, and it may show this week. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell it. It may show this week. I said you could have DM'd me, and she was like, she's not gonna DM me. I said, but you've been looking at my stories during this time, so you've been on my stories. You've been looking at them, so you could have said something. So we'll see if that airs Saturday. If they show the rest of the conversation.
Whoa. So when it comes to like your friendships, we've seen the fallouts from the television shows and stuff. So does that affect how you go about developing friendships in the future?
Not really, because I'm not really interested in developing friendships. I mean, I'm 37 years old. I'm not 20. I'm 37, so my solid friendships that I have already. So I'm not really looking for new friendships. Like I'm working on legacy at this point. Like I'll be 50 before I know it. And then after that, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, I'm not looking for new friends. I get business associates that come my way, and I have business associates, but my friends that I have, I already have.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's pop back over to the ex-husband right quick. What's going on with the custody battle?
So I can't speak on that right now.
Okay. But is it happening at the beginning of taping, like this first episode we saw? Is it happening during that time?
Yes.
So it was going on during that time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to know if this is how it really is, because I feel like there's, like you said, there's the reality that's happening on the show, and there's a reality that's happening behind the scenes. So is Martel trying to get custody, and then at the same time around you in front of people, like nothing's happening?
Yes.
Because that's what it seems like.
Yes.
Okay. Cause I don't know if you saw the little video, but I went off for a second about it because I feel like everybody's like, oh, Mel needs to get over it. He's being nice. Why doesn't she just, I'm like, do y'all not get all of this stuff that's going on? Like, why should she have to pretend like she cool with him when he's doing all of this sneaky shit behind the scenes?
Well, I would tell you why. Bondy, everybody is not like you and I, okay? And unfortunately, you have people who have been so used to putting on their entire life that that's all they can relate to is, I don't care how you're hurting me in private. I don't care what you're doing to me in private. We're going to still go to church on Sunday and sit there and smile like all is well. We're going to still go to the family reunion and smile like all is well. And ain't nobody going to know, even though I know behind the scenes, you dogging me out, cheating on me, making me cry, being narcissistic. And that's what people relate to. Not everybody, but unfortunately, a lot of people relate to that. So how dare Melody not put on and smile and take this, what looks like he's being nice in front of the camera, and accept that?
Right.
Yeah.
So, how would you say your relationship with Martel has affected how you relate to other people, whether that be a romantic interest, whether that be your friendships? How has that affected you?
The only effect it's had on me is it's made me open my eyes and pay attention to stuff more, to be honest. When I look back at it, I found out, of course, about his affair in 2017. When I look back at a whole year and a half plus that you were cheating, and I ain't even know that I know about, right? And I didn't even know it. So it's like, okay, keep your eyes open. No matter how much you love someone, how much you care about someone, right? Keep your eyes open and pay attention, because people really can live double lives. we see it on. I don't know why people act like it's so impossible when it comes to this situation, as if we haven't seen tons of real life stories on television where people have literally lived double lives. They go work a 9 to 5, but they're a murderer at night, a serial killer. We have seen real movies and stories like that, and everybody's like, I never would have thought, I never knew, like.
Yep.
But for some reason, when it comes to this person literally living a double life and Melody not knowing about it, oh, she had to have known. I know she was accepting it. I'd be like, okay, I ain't even argue with y'all because the facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really allowed me to be like, keep your eyes open. Don't be so generous with your heart,
Yeah.
Now, at one point, there was people are always trying to find out who you're dating, right? So much
Mhm.
so that they bring up a politician, and I believe that Martel even posted the person and said some things. Why did he think that you were dating this polit? Is there any connection or something?
I have no idea. So the only connection that we all really have with Devin is when we started the comeback group. He was the councilman for that district, North Huntsville. So not quite naturally, he was one of the people, you know what I'm saying, who we reached out to. We had an event at the time at me and Martell's home. All the comeback group was there. We invited some people running for that office. We made some donations to those campaigns. And we communicated with him when we were again starting the comeback group. Outside of that, I ain't never even been alone with him, so I don't know. I thought it was weird, but at the same time, coming from Martel, I mean, I wasn't surprised. Like he's always doing something that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. So,
maybe he
mhm.
felt like that's somebody that I would date. Shit, I don't know. Maybe he look. Hey, maybe he look at him like, sure. I don't know, but no,
based on what
definitely.
all
Devin
based
is
on what
cool
all
people.
Devin.
Like I said, I've never even like even breakfast or hey, let's meet up for lunch or none of that. Like it's never been none of that. So it was weird for me too, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
I think it was, I don't know, on me dissecting it, and
Mm,
I could be wrong, but I feel like him knowing there are a vast amount of fans that don't like you, and knowing what happened with the Devin situation, it seems like, were you trying to incite people to go over to this girl's page and just, dredge your comments and stuff with negative things to say, alluding, assuming that you're dating this man? So I don't know. You could just never really tell with Martell, but that's definitely something that crossed my mind.
I don't know.
That's crazy as hell when you really think about it. Like that's crazy as hell when you think about it. You really like had the whole internet thinking that that you were messing with this man and there's no real like connection for him to be.
At all.
Ooh, child,
Yep,
child.
yep, yep.
Okay.
I
And to
did
be
see a
honest with you,
video.
let me bring this back. I remember because this is making me think about. I remember one time in the past, of course, recent past, because I left him in 2020, so it had to be between 2020 and 2023. Maybe last year, he asked me. He had tried to get in touch with Devin for something, and I think Devin ignored him. And he wanted to know if I had his contact information, if I knew how to get in contact with him. Because you got to keep in mind, people know that I move about in the business, and I was on the board of the Chamber of Commerce, so everybody know that I be knowing what's up, right?
Mhm.
And so, I said to him, I said, shoot, I reached out to him because I was asking him. It was something I was okay. I remember it was something about basketball, a basketball league thing that Dawn, my manager, had presented to me, and I was looking at, hey, maybe we can get this in Huntsville. So I had reached out to him a few times, and he ain't responded to me. So I was like, I told Marcia, I was like, shoot, I'm trying to get in contact with him too. I said, I don't know. Maybe his number has changed. I'm not sure. That's the only conversation he and I ever had about Devin. So
Mm.
it was weird for me then, like he's just weird. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. And I
So,
have and I have those receipts. Like I could go
okay,
right
because
now.
we can pull those if we need them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
And I,
could go to that and show you where I was reaching out to him about this basketball thing, and I wasn't getting a response from him. So, but I didn't take it personal because he's a councilman. I'm sure he stays
Mm-hmm.
busy. I ain't take it personal, but maybe Martel took that shit personal and like, I bet. I don't know.
Mm.
I wanted to finish my question before somebody in the comments made an assumption based off the first three words I said. Since we talked about the councilman, but I saw a video of you going on a vacation, and it seemed like you were on vacation with somebody significant. I think it was like a hand or something real small. So I want to know, what would it take in a relationship for social media, not the TV show, social media to get the face? What would it take in your next relationship for people to know who you're actually dating?
I don't know if I would ever do that.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't say that
Yeah.
I would or wouldn't. I don't know if I would ever do that. You know, I understand that I have supporters who literally have been with me through the other process of marriage, having a baby, you know, and then they've been through with me through that and welcoming sugar mama and then going through a divorce and crying with me. I know that I have
Yeah.
people who have shared many emotions with me, right?
Mhm.
So I feel somewhat obligated to also allow them, you know, to share in the joy in my life too. So for me, that's giving a little bit so they can. But
Yeah.
if I'll ever go full fledged with showing a face and all of that, I can't say that I will. I actually enjoy it being more low key, and me really just being able to have that piece of my life for myself.
I
Mm-hmm.
understand.
I like that.
Gotcha.
So is that the reason why we haven't seen any of your like real friends on the show? Because people are always acting like the only
Yes.
people you know are these people on this damn show. And I'm like, she has
Right.
friends, y'all. They just not on the show.
Yeah,
And
they're just
probably don't want to be.
and they've met my best friend has been on the show. Brittany has been on the show a time or
I
two.
met Brittany. So
Yeah,
yes.
she's been on there a time or two, but I literally have people who are in my life, who are my real friends that are more behind the scene type people. Like they don't even them being in the spotlight or being on TV. Brittany, it'd be so funny. The couple of little times she filmed, she was so nervous, child. Listen, this is probably about to pass out, but you know, there are people who just don't have a desire to be on TV. And I'm not that person to be like, well, you're gonna have to be on here. We ain't friends no more. No, like I respect people. Like I'll invite you to stuff. I'll tell you if it's being filmed. But I know my friends. And I have another friend besides Brittany. We've been friends for like 14, 15 years. She even events that are being filmed, she ain't coming. She don't want to be on
Mm.
TV. And that's okay. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Understandable.
Okay. So, after the last season ended, I remember I hopped up on your lives and I was like, I don't know how you're gonna continue to film with these people. I remember saying that. So,
yes.
my question now is, what made you decide to stay on the show?
So I shared with Carlos that I've literally had moments where I've been like, I don't think I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of all the extra that comes with it. It's because of, you know, things getting too dirty, too nasty, right? And
Mhm.
then of course me too dealing with someone who I'm filming with who is also my ex, who is also my children's father, who is also constantly doing stuff, and I'm trying to show up to work. And there's other stuff outside happening that affects that. So my decision to come back solely is based on God ain't told me to go yet. When God does tell me to go, I'm gonna go, and I won't have no regrets, no second thoughts, no what ifs, which is the same thing that happened with my marriage. When I walked away from my marriage, I've never ever had a second thought. I literally haven't been with him since 2020. Literally, like that's for real. I never went back. When I left April 4th, it never was a possible
Mm.
chance. It never was a, okay, let's kind of try it again. It was
Mm.
done. It was done. And it's been that way. And, you know, that could be some of the issue too, because from what I've heard, um, sometimes men think that they can always go back to their baby mama,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? Even though
Right.
I
Yep.
was a wife, but still I had four of his kids. But I've heard that they always feel like, I can always go back to my baby mama. She always gonna be there. She always gonna, and that's not the case for me. And so I think that also is some of the reason that causes a lot of the tension and the, you know what I'm saying, like the trying to make things difficult and all of that is because, like when I left, I really left. It wasn't a game. It wasn't for play.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay. So my question is whether you would consider doing like a spin-off, possibly maybe in like real estate, you know?
Mm. You never know. I love real estate. I love real estate. I literally we'll see if it shows. I actually had an on-site training class for my master class that I teach. So you never know. I mean, like I said, I'm literally still new in the entertainment game, so there are still doors and opportunities, waiting on me. So you never know.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is one of the fan questions.
What the fan got to say? What's going on?
Child, they want to know why you don't expose Martel for the behind the scenes stuff that happens.
Mm.
I am very much so strategic with everything that I do and how I move. And so I have learned now in the beginning stages, I used to move off of emotion a lot, where you could say something to me and piss me off, and I'm gonna tell everything, and I'm gonna I'm going for you, right? And I have learned that me sitting back sometimes, being silent, or not saying much, and being strategic and waiting on perfect timing works for me. So people can DM me all day and tell me to expose, expose, expose. I'm not gonna say anything until I feel like I'm ready to say it.
Hmm.
A book, okay?
I mean, that'd mean you right. I was gonna say that'd mean she never was gonna say it. You said
Okay,
until you're ready.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Y'all
You
got
got
another y'all got another fan question?
I do. I do. Okay. So when we talk about exposing Martell, right? You're not ready to do that. It takes me to a conversation that irked the out of me, and that was the conversation of he and his mom. Because for
Mm.
some reason, and it's no disrespect to the kids, grandmother, but for some reason she never sees like the issues and the things that he does. And I just wanted to know your thoughts about that scene and her continuing to reference you as being bitter when y'all literally had to sit down and everything seemed to have been resolved. So, like,
It's
how
the
do you
same,
navigate?
yeah, it's the same thing with Tisha. The same feeling I have with Tisha saying I have a dark soul and I'm a sheep in wolf clothing. Same thing.
Mm.
Mm,
So it doesn't
repeating.
even bother me that much because I you're not around me for real and haven't been around me for real in some years now. So you don't know if I'm bitter or not. Just like I can say, Tisha, you don't know if my soul is dark or not. You don't know my heart. Like you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even around you enough for you to know that. And I understand who you are connected to. So
Uh-huh.
knowing who you're connected to and the things they like to say and how they like
Mhm.
for things to try to appear, I know you just regurgitating, just like Tisha. You just
Mm-hmm.
saying the same thing you being told. Like I'm not running over to her to tell my side every time some
Right.
shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't calling her up. Your son doing this, but this is the truth. I'm not doing none of that. I ain't got time for none of that. I'm too busy to do all of that. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you. What I tend to do is let people go on and choose whatever side they gonna choose, and let them do their thing. And I'm gonna keep
Right.
getting to the money. Like I don't have time.
I
I
know
don't have
that's right.
time.
Right.
Mm.
Has anyone ever like apologized to you behind the scenes for like how some
That's a
things
great
have
question.
happened?
No, 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 no.
Mm.
Of course, Martell is always apologizing for something. But he do
Right.
that.
He's
He does
Right.
something, apologize, does something, apologize. But anybody else, no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
As
really.
far as the other cast members, like, are you cool with everybody now
Let me ask you
or
something. The question you just asked me, you were talking about cast members, right?
yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So no, no, no,
So did
no.
production ever come and apologize to you about some shit? 'Cause you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Whenever what was that had gone down? Something had gone down with Wanda, and Carlos apologized to me about that.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that was like it was. I want to say it was had to have been maybe a year and a half or so ago. I can't remember. It wasn't the Madani thing. It was something
Okay.
before that.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah, he hit me
Was
up.
it? Oh, you
He
said
was
was
like, "I never
Wanda.
want you to feel uncomfortable or disrespected in your own house," and he
Yeah.
apologized.
So
Yeah.
what about, did they apologize for bringing the Scott brother on to insult your mom?
Yes, Carlos did. Yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. I had a question about that.
I
Reaching
thought
out.
the apology was gonna be for the reunion before last, where they talked
Listen,
about
that's what I thought
that's what I
initially.
thought, the snack versus the meal or something like that, or are
Oh,
you enough?
Okay,
I
yeah,
thought
he
that's what it was.
apologized about that day. Once we left the scene
Okay,
and went in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
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 Okay. Then I'm gonna just go ahead and be messy then. All right. So he said like maybe 6 times in y'all interview that y'all were like friends. And so is it
Mhm.
a business associate or is it a friend?
So I know he says that we talk all the time. Let me just be honest with you. I don't talk to nobody all the time. I don't. I don't talk to anybody all the time. I don't have time to talk to anybody all the time. Even whenever the situation went down with Wanda at Madani, and I called him after it about that. He knew that me calling meant something because I'm not a person to call. Like, even though I'm a producer on this show, I'm not finna call you up and feel like I'm gonna just talk to you all the time and say what I want to happen and how I want it to happen. So I literally don't, like, even my BFF Brittany, we talked today, but I hadn't talked to her in probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I was like, I need to call Brittany and check in on her. I just, like, I ain't even talked to her. But I literally don't talk to anybody all the time. I don't have time to.
Respect.
Yeah, so he and I talk every now and then. And usually if we do talk, it is going to be about this show. It's not just like, so child, what you been doing? What you eat today? Oh, shoot, what you going to see this weekend? Okay, then. It's not that. Like, when we talk, it's going to be us talking about this show or other opportunities or potential, cast members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you've been apologized to because I definitely feel like you've been mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I've felt for a few seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they kind of thought that they were going to be able to go in another direction and realize that wasn't really going to work. So now, it's Mel's house and all of this stuff. And it is, but we've been saying that and y'all was acting like y'all didn't know that for a while. So I'm glad things have been rectified.
Okay.
I have another question for you. So at Kimmy's event, that you threw for her, was Destiny at that event? Because fans were saying she was, but they edited around her.
No.
Oh, okay.
So she's not taping at all this season anymore.
That's the real question.
I have no idea. Nothing that I've been a part of, I've not seen. So, but I don't know for sure. I don't really, and it's so crazy because I could, but I don't. I don't call people like trying to figure out what they've been filming and who was all there, and I don't
Who all
have
over there?
Huh?
Who all over there? You know
right. I literally don't even have time to do that. So, as I know of, no, because I ain't seen, we have like the group things that happen or so no, not as I know of, but no, she was not there.
Okay.
And I don't know if y'all have anything else, but
but it's not really a Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Okay, then I'm gonna do this last Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then we could do Jami, and then we could let you go, girl, because we know you got stuff to do. So
I bet you done said Melody done said 50 million times because I ain't really got time. Because I ain't really got time.
Booked and busy.
I know.
Booked and busy.
Listen, and honestly, I want to text you and be like, okay, so I need to figure out a way to be this booked and busy. So help.
Listen, when I say I literally packed up orders, I did a whole bunch of other business stuff this morning. Packed up a whole bunch of orders, loaded them in my vehicle, took them to the post office. By the time I got back here, it was maybe 6:20, 6:30, and it was just, and I still got more down there to pack up. But it was just like, all right, let me get on here and do this. And then StreamYard was acting funny with me for a minute. But anyway, yeah, nah.
I mean, we got
Okay.
you on the couch this time. Last time we interviewed you, you were booked at a birthday party. Yes.
I said, listen, my girl knew she was like, hold up, I'll be right back.
But we love somebody who holds to their commitments. That was
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
Yeah.
appreciate you all the time for that. So now that we've seen this situation with Stormy, and I know there's more to see,
Yeah.
but how are you feeling about the narrative that you're not a good friend or that you're not like helping build these relationships, specifically with the Stormy situation?
Mhm.
Because we could look at other people and say there's a different reason for why this happened, but with Stormy specifically, it seems
Mhm.
like she's not cool with Martel and them like that. So what is the real, like, what's the issue?
Well, at the time of what y'all watched on the prior episode, I didn't have an issue, right? I
Right.
was privy
Mhm.
to a lot of the things that had been being said and had been and happening. Now I have been made privy to those things, and um, to be honest, because of as much that I go through when it comes to Martel, I know you said she's not really cool with Martel like that, but New Year's is one of the biggest days of the year for everybody. New Year's Eve, New Year's, and she was with him and his.
Yes.
So I don't know. So for me, I don't know how cool or close they are. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
see them hanging together, and so it feel like you chose a side.
Yeah. So well, I mean, I'm just saying. So to say how close they are or not, but I do know that
No, I
things
see it. I got it.
connected to him
Mm-hmm.
is a no for me. And when it comes to especially people who I have shared with them some of the things that have happened or are going on with us, and them knowing how he is with me. And if you choose to be cool with that, then that's a problem for me, right? Like it just is. Like I'll be honest with you, I remember she's the one who told me, like, girl, do you know Courtney shot a scene with Martel and he writing down and keeping up with anytime you have a babysitter. That's crazy to me. And I'm like, girl, say what? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know the type of person this is, right? And then to be honest with you, and hopefully y'all will see this throughout the show, she and I eventually have a one-on-one sit-down conversation. And the conversation went fine because again, it still isn't like at the end of the day, I was proud of her business acumen that I saw that was shown to me. And I felt like you should be on the show. You know what I'm saying? You should be on you doing the thing, you should be on the show. And I pitched her. But having a situation again with someone's mother, I
Mhm.
just went through that.
Mhm.
So I have no desire to have a friend, business associate, or any of that where their mother doesn't like me.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. I'm not about repeating the cycle of it all.
Right.
So now that I've been made privy to a lot of the stuff that has been happening behind the scenes and has been happening on social media and the different shade happening on social media, I'm good. Like, I'm good with that. I'm cool with that. Again, not in a place where I can't see you speak, whatever, but hanging out, no.
Mm.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm clear. Because I feel like it's so funny how shit be happening in real time, and everybody's like, y'all peep this, y'all saw this, y'all saw that, and everybody feels away. And then the show comes on, and everybody like, here go Mel being mean again. And I'm just like, but a few months ago, we were all like, why you over here with them? And what's going on
Mhm.
with this video? And why you cuffing it and
I
shit?
mean,
And
and
y'all
we
don't know the
need
choreography. You
we need
know,
social media recaps in between because there's so much that goes on with
for
this group.
real. It does. Okay, so go ahead, Jamie. Ask your question. Ain't got nothing to do
Okay,
with the
so
show.
my questions, I feel like they're silly, but they can be fun. So it's like a two-part. You know,
Okay.
I like two parts. So the running question has been, who should have ended the show? SWV with weak or Escape with understanding? And then the follow-up is, if you were given the opportunity to be the fifth member of Escape, would you take it?
Okay. So I can't I haven't watched SWV and Escape. What is it? I think it's R&B, Queens of R&B or something. What is it
Yes,
called?
it's
Yep.
Queens
Yeah,
of
Yep.
that's right.
R&B.
So I've seen all the headlines about different things, of course, but I haven't watched it. I haven't
Okay.
watched it. So let's do your first part question. So you asked me, would it be understanding or
Weak.
We by SWV.
I would just mix them all together, both songs together. I think both groups are amazing. Like for real, I think both groups are amazing. I'll just mix them all together. So here's the thing:
A mashup.
my manager Dawn is really close with Tip. Tiny, she's been with me and called Tiny on the phone. Me and Tiny done talked on the phone. Hey girl, she actually FaceTime because Tank just loves T.I. music. So he was rapping T.I. one day. So Tiny answered the FaceTime, and I think Tip was with her. And so, you know what I'm saying? So I have that. Then you got Lily with SWV. I'm cool with her. So it's a situation for me where I would just mix both songs together, and all of them will be up there together.
Okay.
Singing all
They
the
should
songs together.
they should have did a mashup.
They
Yeah,
did.
Would
Mm-hmm.
you consider opening up for them though?
Hmm.
Doing a
absolutely.
few shows?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So, I
So
just did a tour with Eric Bellinger. It was super fun. I was opening up for him.
yes.
I
Yeah,
saw that.
I know
yeah, I
that
did
was
five
good,
dates.
girl.
It was fun.
I was like, look at you rehearsing this shit. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, let me tell you, when Dawn first hit me about the 5 cities, I was thinking, I was filming it. We were still filming Love and Marriage Huntsville at the time. I get my kids every other week. They're in extracurricular activities.
Mhm.
I got this other, all my business stuff happening. I was like, for a minute, I was like, I don't really think I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. And I literally had to remind myself, like, Mel, push through. You always push through. Just push
Mhm.
through. So I was like, I don't want tell them I'm gonna do it. I'm in. I'm game, right? And then it became okay, how I'm gonna get rehearsals in, how I'm go because my dancers are in Atlanta, I'm in
Mm.
Huntsville.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, girl. And then I had to do a 15-minute set. So what I had to do, my first 2 cities, I did my set I already had because I had no way to do a 15 at the time. But my last 3, I was able to do a 15-minute set and make that happen. I just made it happen.
Congratulations on that. I know how
Yeah,
hard
that's
that is,
big.
how scary
Yeah.
Thank
it is
you.
to perform live like that on somebody's tour for real. That's really huge.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
It looked like
Oh,
it.
and will Seventh Avenue be in any big retailers eventually?
So, so I've had opportunity to already do that. And I'm just not interested in it right now. Not right now. I'm not. I'm liking and enjoying doing things the way I'm doing it. Um, I don't want to say never, but going into retail looks good and sounds great and it looks big. But what a lot of people
Mhm.
don't understand is when you do that, you lose a large percentage of your margin,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
your profit margin. And all of my stuff is natural. So my ingredients are more expensive anyway. I'll be real with you. Like my ingredients, and could I have changed it? Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I say this is what something is, this is what I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So my ingredients are expensive anyway. And so me going into retail and giving 40 to 60% off to them I'm good. I don't want to do that right now. That would be something I would do when um I didn't want to do what I'm doing now in terms of packaging and printing my own orders and all of that. And I've got something else I want to give all of my attention, so I allow retail to handle that. That would be something I
Yes.
would do then.
Gotcha.
What about
Okay.
and you might not be interested in this, but this popped in my head. You know how Candy Burris has her sex toy line where she kind of has her individuals or whoever wants to sign up for her company to go out and sell her products.
Yeah,
Have you
Like
considered
Amy.
that as yeah, like
yeah, I
yes, like
have. I have considered that. I've had talks with my management team about that, so that is something we've talked about. I haven't felt the move on it yet.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Lyric loves Seventh Avenue and he would like some more. So we have to put an order in. Okay.
Yes.
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 And I'm still waiting on my body butter, but it's okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Bunny, you gonna kill me? Do not kill me. Oh my god.
It's okay, girl. It's
I
okay.
got you. Oh my God. Because we talked about that a while ago.
We
Jesus
did.
Christ.
It's
She
I'm
cool.
told
sorry.
people
I'm
been
a,
busy.
Right.
She is. But
hey, what I've been
listen,
saying the whole night? Because I ain't got time.
I ain't got
I really
time.
ain't got time. I really ain't got
You
time.
I get
Look,
ain't
it.
got time
Mel.
to sleep. Ain't got
You got
time
time to
Look,
to.
watch
let me tell y'all
TV.
what Mel had time for though. Mel had time to create that God bless you on your journey. When I saw you at the Kimmy event, I said, damn, that was a quick turnaround. Like, did she just say that? Like,
Let me
I was
tell you,
so
I already had that out. That's been out for months and months and months. So I just literally went in my inventory room and pulled on a shirt. Even when I'm in the scene in the park, I have on the white one with the black font. Like, yeah.
Yes, like throw it
that's
on a
right.
t-shirt real quick. Okay, God said
God
go.
said go.
God
God
said
bless
go.
you on your journey.
Okay.
And push through because God said so.
I know that's
hmm
right. That's what we're
That's
trying to do
right.
over
You
here,
need.
girl. We're
I'm
trying
not
to
gonna
push.
waste God's time. That's what you
That
need next.
that
That's
right
the
there. I'm not gonna waste God's
I'm
time
not
on
gonna waste
that.
I
God's
like that.
time. That's what
That's
you need next.
That's the new one. That's the new one, Mel.
That
I
is
need that
actually,
one on the
that is
t-shirt.
actually a good one. It really is.
Okay, well, I mean that's all the questions that I had. Ladies, anything? We're
um
good.
Yeah.
what's the name?
Okay.
I know you're working with Jay
Yes.
Vaughn. I feel like I mess his name up sometimes. Please forgive me. But I know you're working with him. So what else should we be expecting? I know you also have your interior decorating and stuff going on. So what else like let the people know?
Absolutely. So, of course, I've got Grandeur by 7th Avenue. So, that's the home decor line with pillow covers, throws. We got throws, window treatments. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, I do my collabs with Jay Bolin here and there for clothing, which is always so much fun. His energy is so dope. Like, he's a whole vibe by himself. We always get in there. My last shoot I did with him, we were there till like midnight almost. And, we just gets it done. Okay. Um, and then of course I've got my skincare. I've got my master class where I've created over 650 entrepreneurs in the past 3 years. So that's another thing. I'm teaching classes. I have every one of my students get my number. So I have students calling me and texting me and, needing, assistance from me, questions they may need to ask. So when I be saying I don't really have a lot of time for a little bit, I really don't. Like it's a lot of pulling of me that happens. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But yeah, those are the things I got going on right now.
Okay. Well, we
Okay.
appreciate you so much for coming through.
Thank
Okay.
Absolutely, it's always fun.
It always is, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And I'm gonna be, texting you at some point, once we get into the season, because you're gonna have to come back.
Absolutely,
Because
absolutely, I
we're gonna have
will.
to get those, questions in again.
I will. Now, y'all sure y'all ain't got no more questions about this last episode? I don't want you to be like, "Oh, dang, I should have asked
let's
her," or
see.
"Oh,
Okay, hold up. Before you go, let
Mm.
me think about it. Shit. Okay.
Let's see.
So
y'all good." We at the 58, so we got a minute and a half. Y'all sure
yes.
y'all ain't got
Okay.
nothing?
Y'all
Oh,
about
Oh
why
to
did
well,
you
do
feel
you
the
have?
need? Why did you feel the need to appease Martel? Because I feel like you ain't been having to do that. So I feel like you didn't have to do that in that moment to appease him to say that you were gonna pray. He needs to be the one praying.
Okay, so all that conversation, if you notice, you didn't see him ask me the question online on camera because it didn't
Mhm.
happen on camera. It happened off camera, which is why it was never shown.
okay.
And
Right.
in the moment when it happened off camera, he literally had held me up outside my car for about 40 minutes after my kids' Christmas programs in December. So it was cold. So after so much asking, talking, I don't want to learn to love nobody else. I don't want to walk in the park with nobody else. Da, da, da.
Walk in the
And then
park.
that's what he said. Then it went to the prayer thing, and so I was cold. I was ready to go, and I was like, "Mel, please." Like at first, I laughed, and he was like, "No, I'm for real. I'm for real. Quit playing. I'm for real." And so I was like, "All right, Martel." He was like, "Don't be playing with me for real. You gonna pray for real?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna pray, Martel." He said, "All right. Well, what time you gonna pray? Because I want to be praying at the same time." And I just said
Oh
10 p. I just said 10 p.m. to get in my car so I can leave.
Got you.
Okay.
yeah.
So then when the cameras are here, he bringing up the prayer
Yeah.
and trying to act like it was about us having a better You can't say you're trying to have a better co-parenting relationship with somebody you suing, first of all. So people who fell for that ain't even thinking. They just crazy. They just crazy. Then second of all, they didn't even realize y'all didn't hear him ask me, but you ran with what you think he asked me. Like, come on, quit playing. You know what I'm saying? And y'all literally heard my responses on camera because he brought it up when the cameras were filming.
Right.
Gotcha.
But
Well,
that's my
you
Oh
that's
wow, he's dating Sheree. So he's
huh?
standing outside. He's standing outside your car begging
It
you
was
to pray.
December of 20. It was December 2022.
And he was with Sheree during that time.
yeah, that's when he was in the park.
Hmm.
That's when he was in the park with the photogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the
Girl,
very
the
Um,
the
photons.
post pictures.
Was that
yeah,
in December 2022? I don't know.
I don't
it
know if
was
that was
right
in
after.
December, but it
I
was
know
in that
December
time
is cold
frame.
outside. I remember I was
No,
cold
it was like
outside, child. They
it
had
was
their Christmas
before the
parties.
reunion.
I was ready to go.
True. It was before. It was before. I feel like it was
Yeah.
before.
Because
Yeah.
he FaceTimed Sheree at the reunion. So it was before the reunion when that stuff leaked out. It probably was like August or something, which was very
Yes.
awkward because Melody invited them on the family trip. And then next thing you know, you popping out with this lady. We were all
Mm.
confused. We still are. But
So,
good luck.
I think, I feel like I don't know. I don't know why he chose to bring that up. I don't even know why. I don't know why he chose to bring that up in front of as if I was gonna pretend.
Right.
And I
I
hate
think it's to
that
make you
people.
look bad.
Yeah, right. Like, see, she won't pray with me, and make it seem like it was about
Right.
something else. Like that's not what it. That's not what it was about. And I feel like you made me lose my train of thought. Hold on a second. For the people who say who wants to keep saying that they ex wants them, da 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 da. It's not necessarily me looking to bring that up. I never look to bring up him trying to get me back. It's usually in a response to something he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So why does he keep doing things, saying things, asking things that would cause me to have to reply with the facts
Mm.
of what you're really doing behind the scenes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't just sit up and just out the blue. So Martel want me, because I don't really care. Like, it's been 3 years. If I ain't went back in 3 years, I'm not going back. Like, I don't want to go back. But at the same time, I will set the record straight.
Right.
And then people have a problem with that. But it goes back, Bondy, to what I mentioned earlier. When you look at women who have been conditioned a certain way, it's
Yes.
the same women. It's the
Yes.
same women.
Mm.
Don't put him on blast. No, 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 no. That ain't what you do,
Protect him.
right?
Protect him at all
Mm.
costs.
No.
Hold it
Child,
down.
I'm
They
tired.
should have known that they should have known that I wasn't about that when I stood out there on that yacht and said you should have kept your penis in the household. So they should have known right then and there that
Oh
I'm the
yeah.
one to be like, if you want something to stay in the house, let it be what should be in the house, because it's good stuff, not bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do right. Do
Right.
right. And
Yeah.
I won't have nothing to tell.
Right.
So
You
Period.
you made me think about something. Some girl that's going through it. Her husband is a narcissist as well. And I went to see her today, and I just feel like sometimes it's hard. Like, even though she's going through this process, you can tell it still like pulls at her, and she's like, I'm still having to like unlearn things that
Mm.
he put on me in our relationship. She's like, sometimes I just keep all the damn lights on. And if I'm brushing my teeth, I'll keep the water running. Because he used to always, turn this off and do this. Da, da. So when you were saying that, I was like, are you still like kind of unlearning or unwrapping
absolutely.
yourself from some of that too?
Absolutely, absolutely. And even you have a little PTSD you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Because when you're in it, you don't even realize how a person is conditioning you. And when you get out of it, you know what I'm saying, then you look back and you're like, oh damn, this is what free feels like. This is
Yeah.
what peace feel like. Like your girlfriend, I can leave the lights on, god dang it, if I want to. Or
Yeah.
so what if I got the water running while I'm brushing my teeth? I can do that if I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it is a whole nother level of freedom. Tell her I said kudos to her. Keep her head up. It does get better. You do have to have strict boundaries when it comes to a narcissist. You do have to limit that communication and all of that, because they will try to say things to trigger you.
Yes.
It's almost like they live to make your life a living hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like all saying little stuff because
Yep.
they have a kid too. So anytime it's something about there's a little slug thrown here or there, and she's in her feelings all
Yeah.
over again. And I'm just like, man, like it's a
Yeah.
It's really them not believing they'll be okay without you, but they try to convince you that you'll never be okay without them. It's a lot.
yes.
It is. It really is.
That's,
Well, we're gonna keep praying, you know what I'm saying, for you to keep on shining and keep on pushing through and showing all the girls y'all ain't gotta stay there. Okay, y'all do not have to
right.
stay.
We
No, you
You
don't.
know you can
Right.
do
get it.
better.
Yep.
Okay, because Mel did it. Okay, because that's the
That's right.
example
Mhm.
I'm always gonna use, girl. Mel did it. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody
And
on reality
and
got to
I
show
hope
it.
that's what women see. I hope they look at me and be like, and I get DMs that say that, like, Mel, I divorced, my husband. Thanks for inspiring me and showing me that I can be okay without this abuse. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what it's all about.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Mel. Well, thank you so
Thank
much. We
y'all.
appreciate you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming through. It was a pleasure, and I'm gonna be on your line again.
All
So
right. Thank
thank
you so much.
you.
Thank
Bye,
Okay.
girl.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, y'all. That was our interview with Melody Sheree. This was the members only live. Make sure y'all follow us everywhere. You heard me at Bondy Blue, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon. Follow us, Ooh Ladies First, and email us if y'all have any tea that y'all want us to share. Okay. And with that being said, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all like the video on y'all's way.